Okay, good morning. Welcome back to George's Grit and Lore. I am George, if you can't tell already from down here. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and talk about Donner Summit and the 8 years that I spent over it. Now, I bought that business truck in 1996. I lost that truck in 2007, plus the other one I tried to lease from CR England. And that one, I got caught up in the CR England scam where CR England would make it impossible to run a truck solo. And even if you run the team on those trucks that you lease, they would make it impossible for you to make any money, no matter what you did, unless you broke the law. We weren't about to do that. Now, the point of talking about that is to establish concept, because the business was established in 1996, my own. I went and got my own authority and drove a truck and been all over the country and saw every kind of snowstorm and tornado and whatever else. But Donner Summit is not like any other hill when you're driving. That sucker has claimed lives from 1848, I think it was, Donner Party, up until today. And there is, difficulty running that hill. I've seen it at its worst and at its best. And I was driving for somebody else when I was doing that. It wasn't part of any business. I was just trying to do something to survive. Now, I was running that hill every day of the week. And it turned out to be a fun thing to do. Now, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of grit to get up and over that hill every time you go over it. So I'm trying to rebuild my life. Well, I have been since I lost my license, truck, the whole 9 yards, around 2007. That was the last time I actually stepped into a truck, is in 2007, which sucks. I got ambitious and I got missing the road and all that fun stuff that you see in the movies. It actually happened. That's the reason why I bought the RV that shows in my movie review channel way back when. I did videos about that. And I'll put a link in the description to get to that one, so you can go watch all the RV videos. But ever since I lost the CDL, I couldn't get it. So anyway, I was running Donner Summit for 8 years. I'm a little bit discombobulated because I don't got everything organized real well. I just don't have it set up yet. I'm trying. Bear with me. This is like my second video for this channel. So I run Donner Summit for 8 years daily, and the Sierra Pass from Reno, the 33 rests. Okay. I was working for 33 years driving a commercial truck, and that's a long time to be driving a commercial truck. If I didn't lose my CDL, I'd still be doing it. So I want to talk about the current truths, the ideas and everything else that we got going on. So, Donner Summits, they're recently trying to figure out where to move Donner Summit. I think it was the 10th of this month that I'm releasing this video. They were talking about either if they were going to leave Donner Summit, the Interstate 80 going over Donner Summit, right where it's at, and or they were going to put it in a hole. I think they should just leave it where it's at and put a roof over the top. I've got an idea how the roof should look. I made an AI generator. This is going to be right there in a few seconds, or up on the screen someplace so you can see it. Then, if they built a roof over it, they could leave slots in the bottom and then put slots in the top, so the heat from the cars and the trucks and all the exhaust that's coming out hot would just rise and blow out. It could suck air from the bottom. Then they could put either grass on the roof or solar panels to run any fans or whatever. If they put grass, then Mother Nature can have it back for the most part. which I thought was a pretty interesting idea. I pitched it to a couple people. They haven't said anything. People with big contracting companies to see if I could even get a price of what it cost to fix it. Nobody's responded because I was thinking that the roof should start from basically the state line in Nevada, where it just basically drives under the roof, and then, every time there's an exit, the roof would have to go down to the stop sign so everybody could get off, which, that would be more work, but it would keep the snow off the road and the water and everything else, make it a little more difficult to rescue people, but it wouldn't be dangerous like, say, the tunnels in Manhattan going under the bay. It wouldn't be that dangerous. A hazmat spill in there wouldn't be no worse than it is right now, probably more controlled. So the dangers are really not too much there. So that's a pretty interesting idea for that. Now, if you go all the way across, even where the bug stations are at there in Truckee and the scale, you could actually extend the roof over that whole area. No problems, no snow. You can go through the bug check with no problems. And then residents could get home easier. Everybody could get home easier. It would be a nice thing to do. And, I would think that would be the best way than drilling a hole from, say, what would that road be? That would be, right there in the area in Verdi, and going across one of the bridges and just putting a hole through directly to Riverside and popping out there, Crystal Grove or something. That would be probably just as expensive, if not more expensive, to put a hole through there. And then they're not going to let trucks go through it because they're afraid of hazmat spills and truck accidents. Trucks always get the bad rap. So now about me some more. The bridge idea, I don't know if California and Nevada would even talk about it. I have to get it submitted somehow. So I'll make up a proposal and send it to them and email it to them and see what happens. I'll update you on that. I probably won't get anything but crickets. You know how them crickets go. But, it's the way it is. So now let's go a little bit more about me. See, I'm 58. I just lost my job. So that's why I'm starting this channel, because I'm starting over again. Now, since I lost my CDL, like I said, I've been doing everything that I can to get a new job. So, I'm nearly 60, so this is going to be fun. But, it's the lore and the life. It's the grit to get going again. And how this thing's work. So I'm going to be chasing businesses, and along my way, I'll tell you all the problems and what's going on about rebuilding my life. At nearly 60, then, I got the ideas and all that. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm going to check the lore about Reno and Donner Summit. I'm going to see as much as I can and equate that to my real life struggles as to what's going on. So as far as what's going on with me right now, like I said, I've lost my job. I'm 58 years old. I'm starting over, nearly 60. It's going to take a lot to get back on my feet. It does that. And I'm going to tell you all the stuff that's going on, the survival, the lore, the hunt, my hunt for a new job in the next video. In all the videos coming up. So whatever's next and however long I took, I'd really like to have had this much longer in the video, but I'll get better at talking, but this should be a pretty good start, and we'll get this one up and edited and see how it works and see what happens. So we'll talk to you later, and hopefully you guys subscribe and like to this channel, and Stay tuned for more interesting things.